Hello, welcome to the Darby Creek Diaries. I'm Gale Thompson. Once in a long while, I will do a demo or a product review and not necessarily a card tutorial. So today we're going to let it snow and we're going to check out all the various methods of making snow. Now, the first one I'm starting with is a snow marker. And if you have the liquid applique, that works pretty much the same, and it's probably easier to get a hold of. Mine was old and I couldn't really use it. You didn't want to see it. But it does have to have a heat tool, and look at all the wonderful texture you get. And it's a matte finish, so you know, if you want a more natural look. So I'm just going to briefly show you all these, and then at the end we're going to compare them a lot more closely when everything is dry. Now I'm going into the Stickles in crystal. This is made by Ranger, and it's pretty much a glitter glue. And I wanted to show you that the pen I'm writing with is a Jelly Roll white pen. I work in a cool basement, and so I'm really happy that that pen actually is working. So that's good for that. And now we have some Nuvo drops in crystal. Oh, I'm sorry, these are in white blizzard. And it's going to show you a little better when they dry what it looks like. These are also good for making drops, and if you hit the back of the page, your drops will round off and they won't look like Hershey Kisses. And I like the Nuvo Cristo drops a little better than the Stickles. I've never had anything clog, and they always seem to do well for me. Now we have the Ranger Texture Paste. And this just goes on like butter. And you can make it kind of lumpy so it looks just like, you know, snow drifts. You want to be very careful to wash off everything because this stuff dries very quickly. You could add glitter to it if you wanted to make it a glittery finish and not just the matte. But it does a really good job for snow. I like it a lot. That's a little close-up of it. Kind of just looks like frosting. Next, we're going to do Nuvo Glimmer Paste, which is kind of a step up from the texture paste. Maybe if you want glitter, you don't have to add it. It's already in there, and it does look beautiful. This is also something you need to clean your tools immediately. You can see some red on that knife. That's from when I didn't get it all wiped off immediately. It dries hard. If you're new to this channel, I would love to invite you to check out the tons of other tutorials there are. I do lots of 3D and interactive cards, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. Now we're going to get into embossing powders. There are lots of embossing powders that you can test out, but in order to make snow, I thought these two would be the most appropriate. The first one is Wow Puff Embossing Powder. Hero Arts also has a great one, but they look pretty much the same, so I didn't demo them both for you. Now you could go either way. You can stamp with a white ink and white emboss, or you can just do the Versamark, I'm sorry, and use the white powder. And that's what I did. And this is Ranger's Snow Powder. Well, the first one here, we're going to go get that puff powder, and I'm going to show it to you here in a second. This is the Ranger one that I'm drying now. You have to shake up that Ranger pretty well. Otherwise, the glitter, you don't get enough of the sticky part, and you just get a lot of glitter. So you want to make sure that you shake that one up well. And I am going to show you the puffy part of the Wow. It's not huge and bold like the top, like the snow pen, but it certainly gives a little puffy texture. Now, I'm not a demo person for Stampin' Up, but you probably can find one just looking online. I'm going to show you some flocking. First, you have to use the Versamark ink, sticky ink, and then you put Heat and Stick. And there are other brands of that, and I'll have it listed below, but this happens to be from Stampin' Up. I've had it for years. And now they have, and this is the Stampin' Flock. And it's just little fluffy particles. I don't really know how to describe them. But you heat up your heat and stick and put your flocking right on it. And you'll see in a minute, it doesn't work the greatest on dark paper. I forgot to try it on the white paper later, but it's just going to be white on white. I thought maybe stamping it with white would work, but it did not. So I just went ahead and cut that out. Now we're going to move on to the glitters. I'm using a Lawn Fawn glue tube, which is my favorite adhesive. I believe Gina K's is pretty much the exact same thing if you have some of that Gina K Connect. I'm using some chunky Martha Stewart glitter. It's holiday glitter that you can find at the mass, the stores like Michael's and things. And it's pretty, it's chunky, it's got little iridescent pieces in it that you will see here momentarily. I gotta love that pen. I have difficulties with white pens working more than once, and that jelly pen worked great. So we're going to move on to Stampenda's Crystal Snow White. And I've had this for many years, but you can still get it. I pretty much just pull things out of my stash. So some of the projects are older than others. But it does a really pretty job as well. And I will give you close-ups of these in just a few minutes. Next up is Diamond Dust, and that's also been around for years. But it's this kind of glass-looking, chunky stuff that really is pretty. And so I didn't want to leave it out. It's available still, I think more in the big box stores. See how pretty that is? It just kind of looks like little glass shards. And all of this I guarantee you I'll show you at the end. Last year, Lawn Fawn got into the glitter game and brought out some chunky glitter. And this is beautiful. I also kind of shook that up because it has other little particles in it. But they're little tiny round, little iridescent pieces. And they're really beautiful. I'm not sure, it'd be more for ice, I think, than snow now that I'm looking at it. But it's also a choice. It's all about what you like and how what your project, what you're going for. But this next glitter, I think, is my favorite. It's the Lawn Fawn Prisma glitter. It's really, really tiny, so you can do it in really delicate areas. And it just goes on beautifully and iridescent. And I will show you when it's dry. All of this is going to look better when it's dry. But I'm telling you, I had embossing powder, I had glue, I had glitter. What could go wrong? You can't believe the mess off camera. So once again, I wanted to tell you, any clear glue works, but I just happen to use the Lawn Fawn glue tube. Now that we're dry, I'm going to show you the snow marker again and all that pretty texture. The crystal Stickles. It kind of takes on a little bit of the color of what's underneath it. The Nuvo Crystal Drops definitely took the color that was underneath it. The Ranger Texture Paste is opaque. The Glimmer Paste is sort of a semi-opaque, but isn't it pretty with all the little glitter? Then there is the Puff Powder, and I'm trying to show you the dimension. You can kind of see it. It just puffs up a little more than the regular embossing powder. but it gives a really snowy look. I like it. And then here's the Ranger Snowflake Tinsel Embossing Powder. And it kind of is an uneven coverage on the tinsel. I'm still thinking about that. And then here's the flocking powder, which I think probably would work best on white paper. And then when I tried the white pigment ink with it, I wasn't thinking, and I should have put the heat and stick on top of that pigment ink. So all the powder came off, but I still think it's probably best just on white paper. Next, we jump to the glitters. The top one is the Martha Stewart Holidays Course Glitter, and see, it's very pretty, but you can certainly see the background color through it, so probably best on white. And then the Stampendants Snow, which is a little bit finer. The Diamond Dust with the chunky glass look. The Lawn Fawn, that's chunky but really, really iridescent. So, and then down here is the Prisma glitter, which I really love. And I just wanted to go over again, the glue was clear, and any glue that dries clear will work just fine. So this is not an exhaustive list by any means, but these are what I had around, and I think they are great for most purposes. Now I wanted to show you what they look like on white, since a lot of times you will be doing snow on white paper. There's the Nuvo Glimmer Drops, and I hope I don't make you dizzy, but I'm going to jump side by side. See there, it's a little more iridescent. It does have, it's beautiful on the white though. It does not bring out the iridescence. The Stickles stays iridescent pretty much no matter what you do with it, but it is less pinky purple. The Crystal Drops in White Blizzard stay beautifully white, as opposed to the iridescent look on the blue paper. And then the Martha Stewart glitter just looks like, a little ice, or, it looks really pretty too. And it comes in a huge bottle. And then the second one down again is the Stampendas Crystal Snow White. And then down below that, I'm going to try to show it to you. There it is again in the blue. And so really, I don't think you can go wrong with any of these products, and they're all reasonably priced. I got a couple little pieces of the Lawn Fawn up there in the Diamond Dust. I like the shards. Like I said, it just depends on if you're going for the white on Santa's hat, or if you're going for, which wouldn't be snow obviously, but anything white and puffy, or if you're going for the icicle-y look. And then there's the Prisma glitter, and I just think that to me is my favorite. It's nice and fine, so it doesn't come off as much. The chunky glitter kind of looks like it sheds some, but I was running out of glue, to be fair. Now that does have a little iridescence at the bottom, that Prisma glitter, but that's why it's Prisma. But on the white, it does great. So here are my examples. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you enjoyed this review, and that you'll come back and see me, and consider subscribing and telling your friends and commenting and thumbs upping, and that you have a chance to craft today. I'm going to put a couple more videos here at the end that I think might interest you. There are tons and tons of tutorials on this channel though, so I hope you'll go back and take a look. That's all for this time. I appreciate you spending part of your day with me. Have a good week and go craft something. Bye-bye.